Hello! Hey, we're going to go from boring basic colors that we picked so far in this course to, this version with some nice colors. I'll show you how to mix them, make them brighter, pick different hues, and then we're going to go through and pick colors that are taken from our images, which is a great way to get started with color. We're also going to run into a big problem towards the end where I can't make something work and then we fix it together. And I'll try and pass it off like it was part of the course, but really just got stuck, but we fix it together. All right, let's jump in. All right, so we're going to adjust the colors on this option 1 we did in the class project. So let's go mess with the colors. You're thinking, hey, I spent ages picking colors. I don't want to mess with them. I did tell you not to, but you did it anyway, didn't you? First of all, let's have a look at one of these boxes. This one here, remember, is a rectangle with text inside of it. They're kind of one and the same. So you can adjust the text color and the object color. Okay, so they're separate. Now with this color panel open, you'll see document colors. That's anything that's being used on any of the pages will appear in this list. This will get longer and longer. Brand kit we'll do later on when we build our logo. Let's have a little look up here. So they're actually different. So you can see there is this no color option, which you don't have for text, okay? But you do have for a rectangle. And all it means is I'm gonna just click on this and it has no color. There is still text in there, obviously, okay, but there is no color. I'm gonna undo that. Mixing your own colors is quite important. That's what this little guy is here. So click on him. Okay, and the way the color system works is you can drag this left and right. Okay, this is the hue. Okay, so drag the hue slider back and forth till you get it in the zone that you want. And I'm just gonna pick a kind of a greeny blue. Actually, that's what we were at. Let's go in orange color. Okay, and then in here, you drag this around. So this is more what's called saturated. So more color, whereas this way here lowers the saturation. So it's less saturated color. It's kind of the right color. Okay, and then up and down is how dark it is. Light version, dark version. Saturated, not saturated. You don't really need to know those terms, but just get a sense of dragging it around. The other nice thing you can do in here is you can start pulling colors from your images or from anything really. Grab the eyedropper. Let's go again. Select this, click on this color swatch here, open the color panel, go into a new color. Let's grab the eyedropper tool and let's just move around. And you'll see it's kind of like a zoomed in version. Great for pulling colors from images. You can see we've pulled that yellow from the popcorn. Okay, you can go back to this one and go, all right, I want one of this kind of like purple out of here. And once you've done it, you're like, oh, I like the color, but I want to change the brightness. So all you do is drag this up. Okay, so it's the same color, okay, but it's just a brighter version of it. Want it to be more saturated? Right. Less saturated, you get the idea. The other thing you might bump into is you might get this called a hex number. The hex number is the way to describe this purple here, okay? It's this bit of red mixed with this little bit of green, which is the 2 numbers here, and then the last little bit of blue. Red, green, blue make up this color. Once you settle on a color, you'll, if you work for a brand long enough, you actually start remembering the color. Or a corporate brand guidelines you might have got from a client, okay, and you can paste it in there. That's the one that I use for bringing a laptop. Okay, for the green, so you can paste it in there if you like. But at this stage, we're just gonna click and drag it around and pick a color that you like. Then just kind of click out in this area here to close that all down. If you have a circle with, say, a line around the outside, so I'm gonna add a border style of this. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit. You can see I've got a color for the inside, a color for the border, and now I've got a text color. All right, easy, undo. I'm gonna get rid of my border. One of the nice things about starting with a brand is you don't often have a really clear brand guidelines. We'll get through that a bit more specifically on how to pick colors to represent a brand when we get to the logo section. But for the moment, we're going to let the image drive a lot of the colors that we've used. You might have seen it already. If I click on this rectangle in the background, go to my color, you'll see photo colors. So it's gone and looked at this image here that's on this page. Actually, it's looking it's looking at the popcorn, which is not exactly what I want. I don't want to pull the colors from that popcorn. Okay, I'm back. You didn't even know I went, but I spent the last 15 minutes trying to work out a problem. So I want to leave it in here in the course because these things happen. Watch this. I want to change the color of this. I can pick from the popcorn, but what are these grayed out ones here that I can't really pick? Okay, and where is this one in the background? Because that's really what I want to pick the image colors from, these kind of purples and oranges, but it's not even there. So I tried to uncrop it. I tried all sorts of things. I had a look on the forums and other people having the problems, and there's not really a solution, but I worked out a kind of a workaround, and I want to leave this in here just because these things happen. Canva is always updating, always changing. It's probably going to be long fixed by the time you get to it. But watch this. If I add this image now and just kind of like move it over here, because I'm not really using it, I just want to pull the colors from it. So with this box selected, grab the color, you can look, there's my little image there, and it's got rid of the grayed out ones, and I can now go through and say, all right, I want to pull colors from this image. And the cool thing about that is that it's looking at this image and pulling colors from it. And often you can kind of match them a whole lot better. Okay, you can kind of get everything to kind of sit in nicely when the colors that you're using and the fonts and the boxes are all pulled from the kind of like image you're using, especially if this image is quite a large part of the design. You can see here already getting good colors. It's not picking the purple, it's just decided the colors that it wants to pick. So what I'm going to do is use these, but also grab my eyedropper tool. Okay, so remember, into the mixing our own color eyedropper, I want to get that purple out of there, and then I want to go in and just make it a bit brighter and a bit more saturated. Okay, so that I'm starting to connect all these up to the image. I'm going to get rid of this now. Actually, I kind of still want it. Okay, so this is a bug and a workaround. It should pull from it, and it has done for many years. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here, and we'll delete him when we're finished with him. Ignore him. And one of the nice things about pulling colors from images is we were quite specific that way. You know, we went, all right, pick that color from, one of these ones here. What we can do is we can be a little bit more, I don't know, let Canva do the work. Okay, especially if we're new to picking colors. We're just going to click the image here. Okay, and we can right click it and we can say, I want you to apply the colors to this page from this image. Oh, cool. Just went through and kind of recolored everything. I can go back into it and say, I'll do it again. You see it's got this like international shuffle. It's basically the same button, but it's going to go and mix them around again. And the good thing about it is that it's not just picking random colors. It's clever enough to be messing with the background, to be picking, because that used to be white, right? Now it's this color. They've picked this lovely navy here, this kind of gold out of the image, and there's a really good contrast. Okay, so the accessibility of this ad, okay, really nice high contrast so that it can be read clearly against the background. I really love starting with the image and letting that drive the color scheme that you're using. You don't have to stick with it, it's just kind of a suggestion, and then you can go through and say, all right, I like that one, but I also want to maybe reuse it up here. I'm going to say I want to grab the document colors, okay, and there's that kind of golden brown down the bottom there that I want to use. And now with the text color, I'm going to say you are too light, so I'm going to use that lighter version down here, or maybe just go straight to white. All right, so that's the basics of colors. We're going to go through, there's going to be a level 1, okay, which we're going to go through now of colors, and then we're going to go through a level 2 later in the course, especially when we have to start picking like brand colors. We have to have meaning, or at least understanding of why to pick different colors and why not. But that's later in the course. For the moment, look at us. We've done some cool colors derived from the photograph. We've got some basic colors going. All right, that is it. I will see you in the next video.